It is estimated that during the Second World War, 70% of Warsaw was destroyed. The so-called Papstplan envisioned reducing the city to the role of a transit center with a 10 times smaller population. Bridges and railway stations were completely destroyed, while numerous residential buildings and municipal infrastructure, such as the water supply and telephone networks, were damaged. However, it was above all historic buildings of major importance to the nation's culture that were destroyed with particular precision. Almost 90% of them suffered damage. One such building was the Saski Palace, which, although it had been rebuilt multiple times, remained an important element in the capital's landscape for nearly 300 years. This was the heart of independent Poland. Before the war, it housed the general staff of the Polish armed forces, and in 1925, the tomb of the unknown soldier, a monument in honor of nameless heroes who died defending their homeland, was placed in the arcades of the palace colonnade. The demolition of what was sacred for the nation was a deliberate act of destruction of Polish cultural heritage and national identity. Therefore, the people of Warsaw, aware of the importance of preserving cultural continuity, immediately set about rebuilding their city after the war. Today, the capital is an unprecedented example of determination and development. The efforts put into rebuilding Warsaw's Old Town were recognized by its inclusion on the UNESCO World Heritage List, making it the only reconstructed urban complex in the world to be included on this list. Today, we cannot imagine Warsaw without its iconic structures, the Royal Castle or the Sigismund's Column. Warsaw is thriving, with modern buildings that equal other European capitals. Yet, there are still places where the emptiness starkly reminds us of the city's tragic history. One such place is Piłsudski Square, where we are currently located. In the post-war years, plans to rebuild the Saski Palace, Brühl Palace, and the accompanying tenement houses were repeatedly considered but never carried out. Now the reconstruction is becoming a reality. On the 11th of November 2018, when we celebrated the centenary of Poland regaining its independence, a declaration was made to restore the Saski Palace, Brühl Palace, and the tenement houses on Królewska Street in Warsaw. Then in 2021, both chambers of the Polish Parliament adopted a resolution on the restoration of the western frontage of Piłsudski Square, under which the process of restoring the demolished buildings began. Several decades after the war, we are jointly rebuilding what should never have been destroyed.